G'day indie authors, Chris Stead here from Old Media with another guide for you, and this time we're going to talk about the idea of putting your story text in your art. So I'm not talking about layering story and text on top of your art, but actually having your artist do the story when they're doing the art. Now a lot of people seem to think this is a great idea, and I do get presented with a lot of art where the story is actually in the art. Don't do it. It is not a good idea. And I'll explain to you, there's many reasons, but I'll explain to you three key ones. Now the first reason is you don't want to be holding on your artist if you need to change your text for any reason. So for example, you might just want to go, I want to change a little line here. Or for example, you might get some feedback from some of your test readers that go, you know what, I didn't like this bit of story and you want it changed, or I couldn't read it properly, I don't like that kind of fancy font that the artist has done. Or you might just get your print copy and you might look at it and kind of go, wow, I can't actually see that font that well on that background. It's actually, really hard to read. Now in those instances, even if you just want to change an end to an N or something like that, as simple as that, you're going to have to get your artist to go and redo the art. Then the art's going to have to be resubmitted, and it's going to be relayed out, it's going to be put out. So that's number one. That's one reason why you definitely don't want to have your body text for your story. So I'm talking about your actual body text, not like something fun like that, like Toy Factory, which is written there, which is just part of the art. That's okay, but your actual body text, right? The other thing is what happens if you want to translate it? So what happens if you decide you want to do a Spanish version? Or maybe it's already in Spanish, you want to do English, something like that. If your artist has put this story into the art, then what's going to happen then? I'm going to have to go in there as the designer and just delete a hole in your art. I can't redo the art without the text there, unless I have the source file and the text as a layer. So you don't want to be restricted from being able to do those types of things. And you've got to remember as well, when you're doing translations, that the certain length that it might be in English, you convert that to Spanish or Japanese or Arabic or something like that, the link's going to be different as well. So the space that you might have saved for your book in English, a little corner of the book so you can have your little story up here, might fit in English, might not fit in the joys of another language. And the third reason is because when you're laying out a book from page to page, when you go into each page, okay, the fact that the art looks like this on each page may not mean the art was the same size. I might needed to blow up the art a little bit because some key bit detail was in here in a channel so you couldn't see it. So I needed to shift the art or make it bigger or smaller to see the most important bits. Or a bit of the art doesn't work well or show something you don't want and you've got to move it and that. And as soon as you have to scale your art in any shape or way, if the text is in the art, then it scales as well. So if I have to make one image a little bit bigger to make it work on the page, then your text is going to be a little bit bigger. And there's nothing that looks more unprofessional than going from page to page to page and all the text is a different font size or font. That just shows straight away rookie design. So those are three of the key reasons why you should be avoiding having your artist do the text, even if it looks cool for the main body. Just keep it to things that work well, like that Toy Factory sign, or maybe you've got a character that might go, whoa, and you might want to have that kind of in the art. Stuff like that, fine. Your main body text, keep it out of the art. And I'll show you another example while I'm here as well. This is a book that we did. And this is just kind of an example of just the text laid on top of the art. And since we're here talking about it, I'll just show you this because it's something to think about. If your text doesn't fit on the page in a nice spot here, so there's a bit of sky here, but there was too much text. Over here, it fit perfectly, black text, blue background, easy to read, I can put it there, no worries. Over here, got to put something behind it, otherwise you lose the text in the branches and the black and it becomes hard to read. You don't want your book to be hard to read. You don't want grandparents sitting there going, I can't read this kid to my kid. You don't want to be straining when you're a parent, you're sitting there in the middle of the night, you've just spent all that time trying to get your kids to bed going, oh, I can't read this. That puts people off your book. So you've got the white background, I just put a little fluffy cloud underneath it so you can actually read it against that. So that's something else to think about if you go the route of having your text on your image. There you go, another little guide for you indie authors out there from Chris Stead, Old Mate Media. Make sure you head over to the website, check out our guides. We've got stacks and stacks and stacks of free guides over there. Other than that, ask any questions if you've got them, and good luck.